All right, sneaker addicts, look what we got here. We have these women's exclusive Jordan 11s releasing, and I can't believe this ain't coming out in all sizes. Why just women's? But let's take a look at the shoe. Let's get up close. Leather's pretty decent on it. I will say that leather's pretty decent. I like it. And then you got your white midsole, that icy as you can see. There's a look at the outsole with your shank plate. Translucent, herringbone traction. Jumpman right there. There's a look at the back with your 23, your baby Jumpman jumping. There's a look at the medial side as far as the fit, true to size. Don't go up half a size unless you need to. And if you do, get something to avoid creasing if you have any room, because you don't want these creasing on you. They're gonna look horrible if they crease. Absolute shit. So definitely. Bird's eye view on the toe. Going up. Laces, leather tongue, your tag right there. And your branding in the footbed. Check it out. Let me know if you're going to pick these up or not. I will try to do my best to put information at thesneakeraddict.com if you're trying to buy your pair. And I like them. Would I buy them? No. But I know a lot of fellas would like these. Once again, it's a women's exclusive. Not for the men's, not for the kids, just for the women. So if you ain't a woman, you shit out of luck. But yeah, dope pair. I know a lot of people are fans of purple too. So I don't understand the whole vibe. Definitely let me know how you feel about these, and I'll try to link this once again in the description box below for your convenience to help you out. Thumbs up the vid and subscribe, and we out. What's good? It's your boy DJ Delz back with a brand new episode of Kicking It, where we talk sneakers with people from all over the world that have the same interest as me and you. These kicks right here. One thing for sure, you know your boy loves his Jordans. The new ones to the old ones. As you can see here, these are some OG maroon 6s. Yes, they're grade school. Just something that I have. Brings me back to when I was a kid. In the size I probably would have been wearing these in if I had these back in the days. And someone like me, I'm a fan of Michael Jordan. I grew up watching Michael Jordan as a kid. So I have more than just the sneakers. From original posters that were in stores to cereal boxes. Some may think that's crazy, and some are definitely going to understand, especially my next guest, Jumpman Bostic from YouTube. He's got an amazing collection of some of the oldest Jordans to the newest Jordans to the rarest Jordans to Jordans that people seem to not even care about because they're not hyped, or you know, there's no kind of resale value to them. He is a diehard Jordan fan. One question I've always wanted to ask Jumpman Bostic is, what is his 3 favorite Air Jordans? So with that said, Jumpman Bostic, what is your top 3 Air Jordans? Talk to us.
What's up, DJ Delz? It's your boy Jumpman Bostic, coming at you from Detroit. And I'm here to answer the question that you had for me. Well, to start off answering your question, my top 3 favorite models of Jordans. Wow. Coming in at number 3, this one has fluctuated between the 1s, the 3s, the 4s, but I'd have to say it's the 6s. And the reason why it's the 6, and specifically the infrared 6s, was the call by Marv Albert for the spectacular move against the Lakers for the Bulls' first championship. So I'd have to say, DJ Delz, it is the infrared 6s. Next up, I have to go with the only shoe that I currently have a double love. That is the Last Shot 14. And the reason for this, I just love this silhouette, the model, and of course it was the last shoe MJ wore with the Bulls for championship number 6. So this is my second all-time favorite numbered Jordan. I doubt if anybody else, Delz, would have this in their top 3, maybe in their top 14. Probably not. All right, Dales, here we go. Number 1 for me is what I call the grade 8s. Specifically, the playoff 8 is my all-time favorite. See by this never released jacket that I received from a good friend of mine, has this 8 logo on the left sleeve. This is my all-time favorite numbered Jordan out of all of them. I appreciate you having me on your show. Much props to you. Keep doing what you do, brother. I'm checking you out. Peace.
Kicking it back, Slate. This guy is doing it major. You'll catch him interviewing one day Nas and then the next day Kobe. He's doing all kinds of amazing work out there in the world when it comes to sneakers and much more. Let's shoot some questions to him and then ping pong back and forth. First, what I want to know is what sneaker first got this dude hype. So I know you hearing me right now, brother. What was that first sneaker that just got you hyped?
Yo, what up, DJ Delz and the Delz Nation? Is Delz Nation even a thing? I think I just made that up. But shout out to the Delz Nation. Anyway, I am Jacques Slade. Most people on the internet probably know me as Cousteau. So what up, what up, what up? Thanks for having me on the show. As far as a shoe that I was most hyped for, I don't say most hyped for, but a shoe that I remember being extra hyped for was the Reebok Pump. And that all happened because of D Brown. I remember as a kid, I loved basketball so much. And my older cousins, they were all into basketball too. So obviously I loved anything that they loved when I was a kid. And I remember we were all watching the dunk contest, and I saw D Brown reach down and pump these up and do that dunk, and my cousins went crazy. And so of course for me, I seen them go crazy. I was like, oh, this must be awesome. Those shoes must be really, really awesome. So it was these, and I wanted these, but I never got them because moms wasn't having that. These were like $120 back then, and that definitely wasn't gonna happen. That was $100 or something like that. Something crazy where I knew I wasn't going to get them, but I asked and I got to know, and I actually didn't get these until earlier this year. Maybe it was late last year, so I finally got me a pair, but that's not till 2014 and 2015. So yeah, sure, I was hyped for it. Definitely these. I remember that moment. It'll always be a moment in my head, just watching my cousins jump up off the couch and explode when he did the little hide your face dunk. And so I'll always be hyped for that, just because of my fam in basketball. So yeah, the Reebok Pump.
Kicking it. Now I could definitely tell we're from the same generation, because my shoe that got me hyped when I was a kid was these. These right here, the Reebok Twilight Zones. When I seen Dominique Wilkins wearing these, I was like, yo, I have to have them. And believe it or not, I was more hyped about this than them Jordans back in the days, man. This was the shoe to have back in the days, still the shoe to have now. Anyone that loves basketball and loves sneakers, especially Reebok, this is a grail for many. Kicking it. Something really interesting is when you actually learn something about the design of a shoe. Last episode we were talking about shoes that you look at and they remind you of something completely different than what it was supposed to be all about. Like for instance, if you've seen like a collaborator doing a shoe with a certain brand, it's supposed to be inspired by fill in the blanks, and then you look at the shoe and it reminds you of something totally different. Then there's just the whole fact of learning about shoes and what they are actually inspired by when it comes to simple things like even these laces here on the Jordan 11 being inspired by the actual net of the basketball hoop. Let's get back and talk more kicks with Cousteau.
A sneaker concept that's different. I can't say that I thought it was different. I just didn't know what it was until later on in life, and that shoe was the Air Max 95. I remember when I first saw it, again, it was just one of those things where I was like, wow, it was just crazy unique, you know, just because of the shape of the shoe and the way the lines flowed on the shoe. And I never knew exactly what it represented or what it stood for until later on in life when I found out that it was actually the spine, and then it all made sense to me. But I always knew that there was something really unique about the Air Max 95 and the way that the way it was shaped. I just didn't know that it was actually the human spine until later on in life. But now seeing that, knowing that it's the human spine, it absolutely makes sense to me. And shout out to the designer Sergio, who did a great job, because he got me, and I didn't even know the intent or the concept of the shoe, but I saw it and I was hooked.
Kicking it. Now the next guest I have on Kicking It is Nightwing, who has his site weartesters.com, and he also, of course, has his YouTube channel, which is very infamous for his performance reviews and much more. So I want to chop it up with him and talk kicks. First, let's talk about favorite shoes. This shoe right here is definitely my favorite shoe, the black and infrared 6. This one is the retro with Nike on the back, and I just love this shoe. I think it looks great on feet. Definitely my favorite sneaker of all times. Not even my favorite Jordan, but my favorite sneaker of all times. Let's find out what shoe is one of Nightwing's favorite shoes of all times. Favorite basketball shoes of all times, matter of fact. Nightwing, what's good, homie?
Yo, what's good, Delz? This is Nightwing2303, in case you guys don't know who I am. One of my all-time favorite sneakers is actually the Jumpman Pro. This was Jordan Brand's first team model. This was the first shoe that I saved up all summer long for. I mowed lawns, I picked weeds, I did all kinds of random stuff. I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time. And by the end of the summer, just before school started, I had enough money, which was back then $110, a lot of money. Grabbed my pair, and basically I've loved this shoe ever since. I went through a couple pairs. This is the pair that I still have that's like really nice and new, but it's not wearable any longer. Maybe I'll restore them one day, but who knows? I don't really have that much time as it is.
Kicking it. We all got funny stories when it comes to sneakers. I've shared plenty throughout the years on my YouTube channel. Let's check in with Nightwing and hear a funny story he'd like to share with me and you.
As far as a funny story, it depends on who you ask. I think it's funny, my wife doesn't. But basically, back in 2006, my daughter was born on the same day that the white and grape retro released, and I so wanted that shoe. So after my daughter came out and everything was good, I made sure I waited. I told my wife, I was like, hey babe, can I go and grab the new Jace that just dropped? You don't ask that, ever. Especially after they just had a baby. Long story short, I didn't get the shoes. I ended up getting the retro that released a couple years ago, and then I got rid of them because the quality was pretty trash, and my eyelets they're plastic, they already started to yellow for some reason, even though the clear soles were still nice and clear. I guess you can't win for losing.
Kicking it. Before you go though, Nightwing, just hit him with a bunch of sneakers that you love. You know, I know you showed one, but hit him with some more sneakers that you love. Like, of course, I showed these. Never go wrong with Air Force Ones. This is something I did on Nike ID. Puma Suedes, Reebok Twilight Zones. I was talking about how special these are before. Definitely love my Air Max 90s. And of course, another all-around favorite is the Superstars by Adidas. Love these Jam Master J's. I got one for you too. I know you love Star Wars like me, Nightwing. These are dope. The back of these, by the way, are just bananas. Now, with me showing some of my all-around favorites, we definitely got to see some of Nightwing's all-around favorite kicks.
As far as an all-around favorite, it really depends on what day you ask me. You can never go wrong with the Reebok Question. Maybe even take it back to my high school days with the Air Jordan 15 Low. Maybe take it all the way back to my very first Air Jordan ever, which was the black and red Air Jordan 11. Being a Dubs fan, you know I got to get me some Currys. One of my favorite shoes at the moment is actually the J Crossover 2. This is the first official shoe that I had input in during the wear testing process. They actually let me keep the original shoes too. So this was the first sample or prototype that I had, and actually has the J Crossover 1 midsole and outsole. And of course, you can never, ever, ever go wrong with a pair of Air Jordan 4s.
And that concludes episode 2 of Kicking It. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my two guests, Nightwing and Cousteau. I will have their Twitters in the description box below and their YouTube channels. Make sure to follow everything they're doing, because they're doing a lot of major things out there. If you love sneakers, you need to be following them. Thanks for watching episode 2. If you didn't see episode 1 yet, that will also be in the description box below, and be on the lookout for episode 3. Once again, thank you for watching Kicking It, and we are out. Kicking it.
thing I know I love is concepts. Whenever there's a sneaker that comes out and it has some kind of inspiration, for example, these skunk dunks right here, love these. But then you have a shoe like this that reminds me of this, and this shoe right here has to do with Wimbledon. But to me, when I look at this colorway, it's pretty close to something like this. Let's check in with my homeboy Fomer Simpson. He got a story about a pair of kicks that remind him of something completely different than what the shoe is supposed to be all about. Foamy, what's good, homie?
What's up, Delz? There is definitely a sneaker that reminds me of something totally different than what it was supposed to mean, and that sneaker is